This channel exists for one reason: to help men who feel stuck get unstuck. Not hyped up, not shamed, but not managed. Built. Most men are not stuck because they lack strength. They're stuck because they refuse confrontation. Not confrontation with others, but confrontation with themselves. You want to confront your wife, your boss, your culture, your government, your church, but you won't confront your own passivity, your own fear, your own delay, your own avoidance. The inner man is not built in silence. He's built in confrontation. And before you confront anyone else, you better learn how to confront yourself without losing yourself. Today is tactical. No theory, no venting, no emotional spirals, just structure. Welcome to Coaching Conversations. Today we're going to talk about how to stop avoiding confrontations. Because if you don't know how to confront properly, you'll either explode or you simply disappear. If you're ready to move from passive to principled, from reactive to anchored, stay with me and let's get to work. Today, we build a 4-step structure: alert, align, act, and anchor. This is how men move from passivity to principled action. But you have to be aware. If you skip alert and align, your act will be aggression. And your anchor will be ego. The goal is not to build loud men. It's to build steady men. Men that can be counted on. So let's start with what most guys miss. Alert. You have to be on alert. You have to recognize drift early. Before courage is required publicly, it's required internally. So ask yourself, where am I avoiding a necessary conversation? Where am I tolerating what I should address? Where am I waiting for someone else to move first? Look, passivity does not announce itself. It disguises itself as, I'm tired, or I'll pray about it. Well, I just don't want any conflict. I'm being patient. No, you're postponing leadership. Psychologically speaking, avoidance coping reduces anxiety temporarily, but it increases stress in the long term. You see, you don't escape it. You can never escape it. You just store it. Awareness alone is not enough, though. Awareness without movement becomes self-criticism. So we move on to align. Align. Check your motive before your movement. Courage without love becomes aggression. Love without courage becomes indulgence. 1 Corinthians 16:14 tells us, let everything that you do be done in love. So ask yourself, am I acting to prove something? Am I acting to punish something? Or am I acting to preserve truth and order? This is where most men lie to themselves because they call ego conviction. They call insecurity boldness. They call anger clarity. Alignment stabilizes your tone. If your motive is clean, you can stay calm and your volume can stay low. Here's where most men usually collapse. They alert, they align, and then they negotiate themselves out of action. But you have to act. Act. Move before you negotiate with your emotions. Because your emotions will say, I can do that later. Not today. Maybe it'll fix itself. No, it won't. It will not fix itself. Courage is rarely dramatic. But it looks like sending the email, scheduling the appointment, naming the tension calmly, setting the boundary one time, and then enforcing it. It looks like saying no without apology. Not 10 speeches, just one move. One move. Most men want confrontation to feel powerful. It often doesn't. It usually feels uncomfortable. But discomfort is not a sign of danger. It's training. Here's the real test. It's not the act, it's the aftermath. And in the aftermath, you have to anchor. You have to hold steady. So anchor. Stand after the motive. Proverbs 24:10 says, "If you show yourself lacking courage in the day of distress, your strength is narrow." If you show yourself as lacking courage when trouble comes, your strength is little. So act. So after you act, expect resistance. Expect discomfort. Expect pushback. And then don't over-explain. Don't soften your clarity to reduce the tension. Ephesians 6:13 says, "After you have done everything, stand." Not after you have done everything, get louder. Not escalate. Don't retreat. Simply stand. And this is where most men lose themselves. They act, and then they panic. They clarify, then they back up. They set a boundary, and then they apologize for it. Anchoring is this: an internal conversation. Did I say what needed to be said? Did I act with integrity? And if you answer yes to both of those questions, then you have to make a statement to yourself. Then I will remain steady. Passivity trains the nervous system to shrink, but courage retrains the nervous system to hold firm. Look, it's not about becoming louder. It's about becoming immovable in the right places. So here's the tension. Most men want to confront others, but few want to confront themselves. You'll challenge your wife's tone, but not your own withdrawal. You'll confront your boss's leadership, but not your own procrastination. You'll rage about culture, but you won't address your own laziness and weaknesses. The inner man isn't built from silence. He's built in confrontation. But the first confrontation is always internal. So before you say, "I need to talk to you," you have to be willing to say, "I need to talk to me." So this week, try a few things. Identify one avoided issue. Then align your motive with love and clarity and take one decisive step within 24 hours. Hold your position without overcorrecting. Not 10 issues, one issue. Clean, measured, and calm. Look, you're not called to dominate. You're just called to stand. And standing is harder than shouting. The world does not need louder men. It needs anchored men. Men who confront themselves first. Men who move with principle. Men who can say, "I will not shrink, but I will not explode. I'll just stand." The inner man is not built in silence. He's built in confrontation. So confront what you've been avoiding. Then stand. Be different.